छतों से बाहर गिरती हुई देखी थी, वो टेररिस्ट की ही थी। कोई जना कह रहा है कि ये टेररिस्ट नहीं है, ये टेररिस्ट ही है। इसके पास से हमारे को इसकी बंदूक भी।
Everybody started to run in all directions. And I just stood there frozen, not knowing what to do. I, at one point, wanted them to find us, or at least put me out of my misery, because I could not bear counting down those minutes. Fear is an instinct. All of us have fears.
This is being triggered off by explosions beyond doubt. Explosions so large that they've consumed the entire wing of the Taj Hotel, destroying one of the most beautiful structures that represents the heritage of Mumbai, the spirit of Mumbai, that's going up in smoke even as...
Just like love and anger, fear is an instinct, a human instinct that can be exploited and exploded in ways that damage human beings and change the way they live, change the way they are.
Militants struck at the iconic Taj Mahal Palace Hotel.
Your mind's just trying to make sense of the reality. You don't know where the threat's coming from, what's going on. Really, I wanted to crawl up in a ball and just, I don't know.
Gunmen stormed in, firing indiscriminately and taking hostages.
It's the fear of the unknown. If you're in the darkness, you can't see. If you can't see, you don't know what's coming. You know?
It was never actually a big dream of mine to visit India. The girl I was seeing at the time, she loved India. We booked a holiday to Goa because that's what, you know, Londoners do. We spent 2 beautiful weeks in sort of huts on the beach, smoking really nice Indian hashish in the Bob Marley hut. It was just a really relaxing 2 weeks. Our return journey was such that we had this kind of a lot of time to spend in Mumbai. Essentially, like the flights, they didn't connect correctly. So it was like, you know what? Let's not rush. Let's take an extra night. Let's treat ourselves. We've been kind of, you know, acting like hippies for 2 weeks. Let's do posh. Let's do a nice posh 5-star hotel.
I have vague memories of the hotel. I don't know, it's like I've tried, it's all, for me, I guess part of my coping with it was trying not to remember specific details about it. Probably seems a bit odd, but for me, I'd rather not try and really picture it in my mind so much. It's just a place, you know.
The day of 26 November, I'd arrived. Thank you. Hi, how are you? We were there to put together security arrangements for a cricket tournament. And the tournament involved the top cricket teams from all over the world. Thank you. Thanks very much. We provide personal security for a lot of very high-profile people.
You are welcome in the palace. You will be feel as like you are king of this palace. We are going to serve you in the same manner.
Okay.
So I'd like to know, sir, you are coming from?
South Africa.
Yes, we would be needing your passport.
Sure. There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, the king would like to go to his throne now. Thank you. Someone once described us as being professional paranoids. We typically always think of what can go wrong. So Mike's gone through to the venue already? If I'm sitting in a restaurant... Was that yes? I have to sit in a place where I can see the entrance and I can have a good view of what's going on. There's nothing worse for me than being forced to sit in a restaurant where I've got my back to whatever's going on.
Ja, Hintergrund der Reise war eigentlich sein Interesse für Indien als neue aufstrebende Weltmacht. Und ja, er wollte unheimlich gerne dahin. Er hat sich für die Spannung im Land noch interessiert. Gerade bei Ralf dachte ich mir, oh, na ja, ob dir das so gut gefällt.
बराबर है जिहाद करने को आए ना तुम लोग है कि नहीं क्या जिहाद है साहब नहीं अभी जो ओके ठीक है रोने
They came by boat. They came via the sea. This was the least expected.
जो गरीब लोग रहते थे मुझे नहीं माफ करेगा अभी ये कैसा तुम्हारे को पहले कहाँ पे ऐसा ऑपरेशन किया है तुम लोगों ने पहले थी नहीं इसके पहले किधर किया है किधर भी नहीं किया हाँ पहले किधर भी नहीं किया एक बार ही करता है बस उगलता है बस मर जाओ एक बार ही अच्छा शूट आउट करो और मर जाओ अच्छा तुम यानी कि इधर ही मरने वाला था ये तुमको मालूम था अभी ये मरने का है तो तुम्हारे लिए
The attack started late evening on the 26th of November 2008 at a crowded local railway station and went on for more than 2 days across 2 hotels and finally ended at the Jewish Center in South Bombay.
Yes, Orna, we can see there's one whole section is just caught fire. If you can just see, I can tell my camera person, you can see that whole window, in fact, that whole section, it probably was a room on the top of the fifth.
Mir wurde ziemlich klar, dass der Tag, an dem man stirbt, dass der feststeht. Und das war für mich einfach, nachdem ich das so für mich wirklich nicht mir sage, sondern nachdem ich das für mich weiß, ich kann machen, was ich will. Weil sonst wäre ich da schon gestorben.
I remember having a very busy day at work, and I was conscious of the fact that I needed to get to the wedding reception on time. Usually I don't like going to wedding receptions at all. I got home and immediately got about trying to get ready and even pushing my mother to get ready. think we got into some sort of argument, and I almost told her, don't come along, just stay home because I don't want to have a fight or something. She said that she doesn't care about whether I'm going to fight with her or not because she'd taken all this time to get dressed with all the makeup and the sari, so she wanted to come along. So luckily we didn't face much traffic on the way to the hotel, and pulled up near the hotel around about 9:15, 9:20. And just went through security like it was just another evening.
Ja, ich wäre gerne noch länger draußen geblieben, aber Ralf wollte dann zurück und wollte dann packen und sich fertig machen.
So the carpets may have changed over time, but many famous personalities have walked right here. So you got straight from Mahatma Gandhi to a lot of royalty and politicians as well. Did any of you guess that famous personality?
We checked in late afternoon. It was just pure luxury, really. I mean, you just kind of sit down and you just kind of take it all in, and you're just like, this is lovely. You know, this is really, really nice.
I insisted to my mother that we should go upstairs. She said that no, we should wait in the lobby because it would be unusual for us to be the first guests.
So I remember we walked into the hotel and I had seen a wedding.
I had pushed my mother along upstairs to the banquet hall.
I remember writing an email to my dad just saying, hey, India's great. We'll be back in 48 hours. Let's all go for a curry, when we're home. We checked in our flights. Everything was fine there.
We just wanted to do a meet and greet, tell everybody what needed to happen in the next day, and then, go to bed, which didn't happen.
I went to go and try to get us a restaurant booking. And at that time of night, it's busy. You've got a lot of people coming in for drinks, you've got a lot of people coming in for dinner, you've got weddings going on, you've got people having meetings, everyone's dressed up, there's a lot of noise, there are people running around, there are a lot of families who come in. And eventually she came to me and said that she can get us a booking in the Souk restaurant.
We just sat around killing time, getting a nice large Bloody Mary, and we just started having a general talk about the markets, how badly they were doing.
And I think I just ordered the club sandwich and a lemonade or something.
We all headed up to the 25th floor where the restaurant was. And that's kind of where the evening started.
Dann stand ich so am Fenster. War es dann so? 8:45. Dann hörte man von ganz weit weg. Ich dachte, es wären so Silvesterknaller.
I heard something.
Firecrackers.
I remember thinking, it must be the wedding.
The sound of firecrackers, and wondered how could that be possible.
Somebody's shooting a gun into the air. Is that the sort of thing that they do? I don't know. I didn't know anything about India. There's got to be a logical explanation for it.
It's like a car backfiring. And I heard it again.
It just took a while. It took a while to work out. I think your mind just plays catch up. You think it's never gunshots. It's got to be something else. It's got to be anything else.
Plötzlich kam das irgendwie näher.
It was just one of those moments that it was exactly what it sounded like, which was gunfire.
we didn't know what to do except throw our drinks and run across together in a huddle. We didn't have anything to protect us from whatever we thought was outside, and we didn't know what was going on.
The sound just became such that it was definitely in the hotel.
Ich sah plötzlich Leute unten aus dem Restaurant rausrennen. Ich konnte es gar nicht begreifen. Was ich jetzt heute nicht begreifen kann, ist, dass ich nicht begreifen konnte. Wie konnte man das einfach alles nicht sehen, nicht wahrhaben, dass man so in seiner heilen Welt lebt? Es passiert einem ja nie was, es ist ja ein tolles Hotel. Passiert ja im anderen.
But the gunfire stopped. The celebratory music in the background was still going on, so it felt very, very strange.
We left the room, got to the huge staircase, which looked down into the sort of foyer area. And it was kind of filled with smoke, but not kind of dense fire smoke, kind of wispy gun smoke. There's gun smoke in the lobby. Okay, shit. There was no one around except another hotel guest. He was on the other side of the stairwell. And the stairwell's, it's huge. He's kind of like 20 feet away. And we're both kind of looking down. We're both kind of looking across. Without saying anything, it was just kind of like, this is fucked. We need to get out of here. We got back into the room. We locked the door.
Man hörte Schüsse.
I started counting them, thinking, how many shots in a handgun?
Aber Schüsse waren für mich auch nicht wirklich Schüsse, weil ich habe ja auch noch nie Schüsse wirklich gehört in meinem realen Leben, ja.
And then you're hearing two guns and you think, that's two people. And then you start hearing more and more and more, and then automatic weapon fire. 13, 14, 15. And in the end, I just lost count. It just went on and on and on.
Man hat dann vielleicht auch wieder mal eine halbe Stunde nichts gehört. Was auch im Grunde genommen fast unerträglich war, weil man ja nicht wusste, was los ist. Man wähnte sich dann wieder in Sicherheit. Das war so ein Psychoterror. Ja.
It was there. This sense of evil lurking in this proximity, in this area. It was remorseless and it didn't care and it wanted to hurt people. And I just felt so powerless there.
Most of our experiences were from hearing the sounds around us in the hotel, and it was like, it played out like a theater of the mind, that it's these sounds you're hearing that you're trying to make sense of every little noise you're hearing.
Terrorism is basically a vicious cycle of creating fear to feed fear.
And you're hearing devastating things, but it was all as a soundtrack to an experience, which is kind of very different to something that necessarily plays out before your eyes in the hallway. You're trying to find the clues to what's going on just by sound.
Oh, you've got to be joking. This can't be happening. We're not doing stuff related to security tonight. We're having dinner. You've got sort of flip-flops and jeans and a T-shirt on. You know, you've got better clothing, better equipment in your room, but you don't have it. Really? This has got to happen now? I'm not going to die stuck in a hotel here. We were with 150 odd people. If they ever were to find out we were here, this would be a good target for whoever the bad guys were.
Dann hatte ich mich hinter so einer Gardine versteckt, total. Ja. Und dann wollte ich nicht mehr da sein.
I decided to call my dad. I said, Dad, listen, I think we're in trouble here. I think the hotel we're in is actually under attack. And he was really calm. Like, I can't imagine what it must be like for him to be in England. Like, his son's calling up. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna find out what's going on. And then he called me back and he was like, yes, the hotel is under attack by terrorists. You need to stay where you are. I'm gonna try and get onto the British consulate or whatever, but just try and, just stay where you are at the moment, and I'll try and give you more information.
And we started getting information about the attacks happening in other parts of the city. Okay, so where is safe?
And that's when I started to panic myself.
And some of the messages that had been sent to me said that these guys look as if they're making their way upwards.
Aber ich wollte das gar nicht so genau wissen. Das hat mir Angst gemacht.
Okay, this is happening, so we have to do something about it.
They threw hand grenades.
Go have a look around, see what else there is up here. Let's see if there's anything we can use to help us.
Well, let's lock the door and let's put the sofa up against the door. No, but if we do that, they'll know we're in the room. Maybe we should unlock the door.
Und dann hat man diesen Button, Do Not Disturb. Mache ich den jetzt an oder mache ich ihn aus?
Okay, what would Bruce Willis do in Die Hard? What would MacGyver do? What would the A-Team do?
One of the guys came back with carving knives and meat cleavers that he'd got from the kitchen, so that each of us was armed. We took out the lighting around the doorways. If the bad guys did come in, the last thing they would expect was a couple of maniac South Africans with carving knives trying to chop their heads off.
Are there any panels in the bathroom where you can remove the panels and get in the walls? Can we get into the building? Like, up through some vent? No, I can't do anything like that. It was all absolutely sealed.
There was plenty of times where we made terrible jokes, complaining about the service in the hotel, and, I never did get my club sandwich. I just remember waiting and never hearing any sirens, any helicopters. My ears like reaching out, thinking there's got to be something that tells me that help is coming. There must have been 20 of us or so. There was at least, 3 or 4 staff there during the whole ordeal. Still trying to look after people and trying to keep everyone quiet. Incredible behaviour under pressure.
dann irgendwann, wir gehen jetzt unters Bett. Weil ich hatte jetzt Angst, dass ich von Sachen, die jetzt herunterfallen, geschlagen werde. Und dann haben wir also beide unterm Bett gelegen. Ralf hat irgendwie geahnt, dass er stirbt. Und dann hatte ich noch gesagt, das ist so ein Quatsch, was soll das? Das ist irgendwie, wir kommen hier raus. Und dann bin ich eingeschlafen. Und ich hatte noch so ein schlechtes Gewissen, weil ich eingeschlafen war. Nur kurz, 10 Minuten vielleicht. Ich dachte, oh Gott, wie kann ich nur einschlafen, wenn er so eine Angst hat? Ja?
Around about 2 hours later, I can't be sure of the time, must have been 2:30 in the morning. We heard a scream from the outside and a hotel maintenance manager who'd been shot in the stomach protecting some of the guests, and we picked him up and brought him into the room, into the meeting room. It was remarkable that he was in so much pain, yet he was holding his he was biting down on his hand so that he would not scream and give opposition away to the terrorists who surely were outside.
दरवाजे भी बड़े बड़े ने मैं ना शीशा बाहर खुलता है कोई मसला खैर है हां शीशे सारे तोड़ दो शीशा नहीं कमरा स्ट्रांग वास्ते बड़ा लंबा पे
They had recorded the phone conversations with the terrorists with their handlers in Pakistan.
ते एक वजह कमरा लभदा नहीं पिया बड़ा बेहतरीन है लेकिन शीशे ने बड़े हैं लेकिन वैसे बड़ा महफूज है अगे दो डबल किचन ने ते बाथ ने ते छोटा सा बाजार होने जाता है.
Absolutely chilling when you hear these young guys, they've never seen a hotel like this.
और हिम्मत करने की मतलब भी घबराना नहीं है इंशाल्लाह देखो ना गोली लग गए तो इंशाल्लाह कामयाबी है अल्लाह जनता इंशाल्लाह इंतजार कर रही है इंशाल्लाह अल्लाह तो हिफाजत करे तो हिम्मत करते हैं.
And then what happened was just like horrific, really. It was quite quiet, and what started happening was that we could hear basically single gunshots on our sort of level, and it was if they were going into rooms and executing people, and it was just getting closer, like. Couple of gunshots, silence, bit closer, couple of gunshots, and you're like, oh, fuck.
You would see my mother sitting on the other side on a chair and quietly praying. I'm an atheist, so I didn't bother praying or hoping against hope.
This is it, 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 this is when we're going to have to fucking deal with it.
I spent a lot of time looking at this door, expecting it to open any moment and just feeling, how is this going to happen? How's it going to feel? You know, is it going to hurt? What can I do? Is there anything I can react to, or do I just get shot and that's it?
The plan was we pulled the shower curtain completely closed and we hid behind the door. They'd come in and I had a fork in my hand and I was going to stab him in the neck. And that was the plan. That was actually, that was viable. That was 100% the plan.
एक मिनट होल्ड करें। क्यों जी? ये बीमारी रखें कि मार दें? गल सुनो जी जी इन्होंने तुसी ना हुणे ही फारिग हो जाओ, जान छुड़ाओ यार अपनी। किसी टाइम ये साल शुरू हो जाना है तो इन्होंने रह जाना पीछे। नहीं इंशाल्लाह फिलहाल कोई मूवमेंट नहीं है मेरी तरफ।
I first start from the premise that life is meaningless. We're only all meant to die at some point. And after we die, the world carries on as is. Our existence means nothing to life beyond us. We are but an irrelevant memory.
नहीं यार ना इंतजार करें। पता है जिसमें फायर शुरू होना है वो ना गैर यकीनी की सूरत होती है, किस अंदाज में होगा, कितनी इंटेंसिटी से होगा। इंशाल्लाह मैं होल्ड रखता हूँ।
My mother just sat there peacefully praying. Her approach was clearly more intelligent than mine because I was psychologically scarred and
करें मैंने कहा मैं सुन रहा हूँ, करें फायर कर दें।
finding it so hard to deal with every single minute during the time that I was incarcerated in the dark room with everyone else.
हाँ करें उसको बिठाएं, उसका मतलब ना मुंह रखें आगे को और सर भी ना बैक साइड पे रखें ना तुम्हारे साथ।
Dieses Gefühl, als ich hinter der Gardine war. Ich habe die Menschen gehasst. Es war ein so tiefer Hass, dass mir jemand sowas antun will. Die Vorstellung, dass jemand mit dem Gewehr vor mir steht und mich erschießt wie ein Hund oder sonst irgendwas. Das war für mich ein unvorstellbares Gefühl des Hasses und das ist nicht schön. Das wünsche ich eigentlich keinem Menschen.
नहीं यार ना इंतजार करें। दरअसल में मैंने उमर को भी सुलाया था, मैं सोच रहा था चलो थोड़ी देर सो लेता हूँ, तो उसकी तबीयत थोड़ी नासाफ थी। मैं ना आधा घंटा ठहर के फिर दोबारा आपको फोन करता हूँ, फिर उसको करना है।
Das dann wieder abzulegen, weil wir ja so nicht sind. Oder ich bin so nicht. Also ich kannte dieses Gefühl nicht, dieses Ausgeliefertsein.
What I've been trying to do is figure out in my head what it is that Western society has done to warrant those types of attacks. Why? What is it? What have we done?
Ich versuche zu verstehen. Heißt nicht, dass ich es toleriere, aber ich versuche, gewisse Dinge zu verstehen und nicht sowas wie Hass und Neid in mir zu tragen, sondern damit lebt sich's einfach nicht schön. Das macht krank.
I kind of feel that the reason we have created this climate of antagonism is because we don't care. Like, we pumped out our shit because we thought it smelt good. And we didn't care what the rest of the world thought. In terms of Western culture, we have been brazen. Just brazen.
I don't hate the terrorists, I don't hate the Pakistanis, I don't hate anyone. I said, I think if you've got young guys who don't have hope, don't have a job, don't have prospects in the community, don't get respect.
आज जो काम किया, आज का काम करके बाद में क्या किधर जाने वाले थे तुम लोग?
मरने वाले थे हम लोग।
कैसे?
वो बोलता था कि जन्नत में जाओगे, तो मैंने कहा नहीं यार भागो, मैं ये नहीं बर्दाश्त करता, मैं अच्छा नहीं लगता है।
हाँ।
You can't turn on a TV, look at a magazine or engage in anything that isn't salacious, that doesn't titillate, that isn't gratuitous, that doesn't shock. I kind of look at all these incidences of terrorism as kind of reactions to that, to the world that we've created, that we created with a big smile on our face and said, here's McDonald's, like, love it. It's like, no, I don't want to love your McDonald's. I don't want to love your women in bikinis. I don't want that. I want my culture.
It's a really difficult thing to stop. You know, you can't stop it with armies. You can't close your borders. You know, people are talking about closing your borders and not allowing certain people in. They're already there. You know, most of these attacks are not caused by someone who comes into your country. They're caused by someone who is already there, who's maybe grown up in that country, who's gone to school in that country, and for whatever reason and however it's happened, have become radicalized and are doing things that even themselves probably a few years before would never have even believed possible.
It's crazy how one can always find humor even in the most desperate of situations. I remember as I put my head against a wall and tried to get some sleep, the gentleman in front of me just quietly nudged me and said, "Son, don't do that. If they shoot against the wall, they'll kill you." And I very inappropriately laughed and told him, "Well, I'm hoping for that. Please don't wake me."
हाँ जी भाईजान, वो नाराज नहीं हो रहा, थोड़ी सेटिंग ना बार बार ख्याल आ रहा था, वो चेंज की तो अभी आपके सामने काम हो गया कि नहीं? अभी आपके सामने, मैं इसलिए आपकी कॉल का इंतजार कर रहा था, आपके सामने हो आके आप करें बिस्मिल्लाह, ओनली हो करें बिस्मिल्लाह। हेलो,
I think I'd been on the phone to my dad again. He said the old part of the building's on fire. Where you are is just going to crumble around you, essentially.
One of my fears was if this fire spreads and it catches the part of the hotel that we're in below us, obviously it's going to burn up, and that's going to be a horrible situation to be in. That really was what prompted us to decide to move everybody from there and start planning to get out.
We'd looked out the window. It was a long way down.
Then we pulled the curtains down and shredded them up and tied secure knots.
So it was a case of like, right, throw the rope over and like peering over these kind of eaves to look to see where it was kind of hanging down. Like, you can't even really see it.
Aber ich wollte nicht raus. Ja, er ist dann einfach raus. Ja. Ist dann einfach raus. Und er sagt, es funktioniert. Was blieb mir übrig? Ich musste hinterher. Ich wollte ja auch nicht drin bleiben.
I probably must have been, I don't think I went more than 10 feet.
Ralf ist schon ziemlich weit unten. Schwarze Wolken kommen aus unserem Zimmer. Plötzlich höre ich von ihm, ich springe, jetzt. Ein Schrei. Er wollte auf die Füße springen, kommt aber falsch auf. Hat fürchterliche Schmerzen. Ruft. Mein Becken ist zertrümmert. Ich spüre mein rechtes Bein nicht mehr.
it all happened essentially kind of very quickly, but very slowly. I felt the knot slip. I knew what was happening. I knew that it was untying. I knew that meant I was going to fall. I had nothing to grab onto. 1,000 calculations went through my head in an instant. I'm 50, 60 feet above the ground. The rope above me is untying. That's me dead. I saw myself for a split second, like in a movie when the baddie, he's hanging on and the baddie then falls. It was like that. I was a camera and I just saw myself fall like that, like disappear. And after that, I don't know. After that, honestly, just out. So I didn't actually ever land. I just fell.
Dann kamen Leute, die hatten ein Sprungtuch aufgebaut und bin dann in dieses Sprungtuch gesprungen. Und dabei hatte ich starke Wirbelsäulenverletzungen mir dann zugezogen. Aber ich lebte noch. Und dann hatten sie zuerst mich evakuiert von vorne über diesen Hubwagen und dann später Ralf. Und auf dem Weg nach unten war der erste Moment, wo ich das Gefühl hatte, irgendwas stimmt nicht. Ja. Und wurde dann in eine Art Krankenwagen verladen. Der passte gar nicht rein mit der Liege und ich saß auf einer Holzkiste. Und wir sind dann ins Krankenhaus gefahren. In einem Wahnsinnstempo. Und dann ist er kurz vorher einfach gestorben. Ich dachte eigentlich, es wäre eine Ohnmacht. Also er wäre nur ohnmächtig und hätte jetzt keine Schmerzen mehr. Irgendwann hatte ich das realisiert. Da war ich alleine. Ich habe ja noch nie einen Menschen sterben sehen.
तो अभी किसकी जो जाने वाले गरीब लोगों की वो तो जाने तुम्हारे लोग तुम्हारे देश के लोग मर गए ना अभी है ही ना तुम्हारे देश ही इधर जो इंडिया में जो गरीब लोग रहते थे
How does anybody who survives an attack like that draw any sense of relief or happiness from walking out of an attack like that?
I couldn't move. I was dosed up to morphine. My girlfriend was there, and my dad, all he did, he just sat by my bed. And he read me P.G. Wodehouse. Actually, it was really soothing to just have my dad's voice whittle through these pages. one of the most annoying byproducts of spinal injury is neuropathic pain. You can't treat it. It doesn't exist physically. My whole setup now is the sort of the pre without pain and the now with pain.
I'm not sure about how my trauma has manifested itself. I do have nightmares on occasion.
फाजुल्ला मेरा भी लड़ाई की कोई शक्ल बनती नहीं है कि तू खुद बाहर निकल के अगे होकर लड़े ग्रेनेड फुट के तो निकलने की तो कोशिश करें.
In some ways, maybe you could look at it as this kind of, I don't know, acknowledgement of the constant pain that we are all experiencing all the time in the sort of most brutal sense of our kind of existence. Fear of the unknown, I've tackled pretty much as big as it could get. So now let me just proceed, sort of thing, and accept whatever happens.
Als ich im Krankenhaus lag, das war auch so was. Man liegt da und man denkt, es geht irgendwie nicht mehr weiter, man ist ganz alleine. Ich hatte kein Geld, ich hatte gar nichts, ich hatte keinen Pass, ich hatte nur meine blutverschmierten Klamotten. Und da geht eine Tür auf, da stand eine indische Frau dran. Und sie sagt, sie hätte es auf CNN gesehen und im Fernsehen gesehen. Und sie wollte irgendwie nur helfen. Wie muss sich dieser Mensch fühlen? Und mir ist erstmal gar nichts eingefallen. Und dann sagte ich brauche eigentlich nur ein Ladegerät fürs Handy, um irgendwie zu organisieren, wie ich nach Hause kommen kann. Und das war jetzt gar nicht einfach. Und wir haben uns lange unterhalten. Sie hat sich vorgestellt und ihre Mutter vorgestellt. Und ihre Schwester war dabei. Und das war so wie, ja, selbst wenn man denkt, man steht am Rande und es geht nicht mehr weiter, irgendwann geht eine Tür auf. Und dann geht's doch weiter. Obwohl die Frau mich gar nicht kannte. Einfach so.
More than 150 people died on that one incident over a period of 2 days.
My initial reaction was to be a little bit embarrassed by the experience, feeling that we'd survived unscathed when so many other people were shot, had partners injured.
Seeing Mumbai as it is, normally, to Mumbai that night, where it was like a ghost town, to gradually coming back to life and people gradually coming out again and everything's starting to pick up. You know, it's like it's a very sort of strange description, but it's like when you suddenly see when you've got a barren place and suddenly you start seeing, you know, little seedlings coming out and things brightening, and suddenly Mumbai's back again. That almost came back with a vengeance, you felt. It was almost as if people were saying, you know what, yeah, that's terrible, but it ain't gonna stop us.
we try not to speak about the incident because every time she claims we were saved because of God, and I claim that we were saved because of the staff and the commandos and nothing else, because I don't think there was any divinity at play there, because that would also be conflicting. To say that we were saved by some higher power would lead me to question why that higher power would save some people and not the others. That argument just doesn't make any sense. It would almost disrespect the people who died, because I'm a cynical disbeliever who leads a relatively lazy and selfish life. For all practical purposes, I should have been one of the prime candidates not to make it out of a place like that. But I did. Therefore, my mother and I don't agree on many things, so we don't generally talk about the incident at all.
As my accident happened so close after my mum dying, I saw my experience as a paraplegic as a grieving process, like a loss or a mourning period for the body that I once had, as opposed to, say the mother I once had. Actually, I mourn the loss of my lower half, or, the kind of things I used to do or it used to represent. Even on the smallest level, like the things that I miss. Like, just being able to run somewhere. Or jump on a wall. Like if, we'd be going down the street, I'd be like, I would have definitely jumped on that wall. Real safety.
You can never completely secure something. You can do as much as you can. You can plan for what happens if it still goes wrong. But at the end of the day, it's kind of it's the will of people to want to get on with their lives, to want to live according to the way that they believe they should be able to live and have that freedom and not be ruled by fear.
Angst ist grundsätzlich ein ganz schlechter Begleiter, weil dann lebe ich ja nicht mein Leben. Und das Leben ist ja zum Leben da. Ich habe keine Angst.